You ever notice how the morning light in Montana looks almost fake, like someone painted it on, just to see if you'd believe it? That's what I remember thinking, sitting behind the wheel of my half-dead Ford pickup, knuckles tied on the steering wheel as I rolled through the gates of Fort Morrison paint peeling, bumper wired together, the whole truck shaking like it might give up right there in front of the guard shack. The guy at the checkpoint looked at me, looked at my papers, then looked back at me, like he was trying to solve a puzzle nobody asked him to. "Ma'am, you sure you're in the right place?" he said, eyebrows halfway up his forehead. I just nodded, didn't give him anything else, say he shrugged and waved me through, but I saw him in my mirror already grabbing his radio. Yeah, that happened. Inside the base, everything was sharper, cleaner, except my old truck, parked like a lost stray between two perfect Army Jeeps. I got out, boots crunching gravel, slinging my canvas backpack over my shoulder, try not to feel the stares from the formation on the parade, ground 40 men and women, all spit-shined and squared away, their uniforms as crisp as their postures. I walked over, slow and steady like I belonged. Every conversation just died. I heard one guy, big, broad-shouldered, the kind you'd expect in a recruiting poster, lean over to his buddy and mutter, "Who the hell is that?" Didn't take long for the boss to show. Captain Marshall Lean, scowling, the kind of Vietnam vet who looks at you like you're the enemy just for existing, strode out, clipboard in hand. "At ease," he barked. His eyes found me, like a searchlight. "Name and rank." "Emily Mercer, Captain." I answered, voice as calm as I could make it. He frowned, checked his clipboard. "You're late, Mercer." "Truck broke down outside Billings, sir." Fixed it quick as I could. The formation rippled with suppressed laughter. Marshall's jaw got tighter. "This program doesn't tolerate excuses. Fall in." So I did last in line, where the eyes and whispers burned holes in my back, but I kept my chin up. I'd survived worse. Much worse. Marshall laid it out. This wasn't summer camp. It was hell, and he was Satan with a clipboard. Half wouldn't make it through the month. Another quarter would wash out before graduation. "Family names, connections, none of that matters here," he told us. "What you can endure, what you can become, that's what matters." He dismissed us to barracks, but as I turned to go, that recruiting poster Michael Carter shouldered past me. "You sure you're in the right place, farm girl?" he sneered. I looked up at him deadpan. "Quite sure." He snorted and walked off, joined by a woman with sharp eyes, Rebecca Wilson. She gave me the kind of look that says you're not even worth the effort. "Gender quota," she whispered just loud enough. "They'll let anyone in these days. You know what I mean? That's how it starts. Women's barracks concrete, cinder blocks, cold, and zero privacy." I picked the worst bunk corner under the pipes, the one everyone avoids. Wilson and her friends took the prime spots. As I unpacked, she called out, "Hey, thrift shop, where'd you serve before this?" I kept folding my gear. "Force Recon. Camp Lejeune." Before that, Benning. That got her attention. Force Recon's no joke, but I didn't look the part, and she didn't believe a word of it. "Right, and I'm the Queen of England," she scoffed. "Whatever." I lay back, hands folded, eyes closed, but inside I was wide awake, mapping exits, counting bunks, old habit from too many nights in too many places. Next morning, they hit us with the 4:30 wake-up lights blazing, boots pounding. Marshall swept through, inspecting bunks. When he got to me, he found nothing out of order, which just seemed to piss him off. "Adequate, Mercer," he grunted, moving on. Out on the parade ground, Montana frost on the grass, we started with Pete jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, a 5-mile run up and down those hills. I didn't try to lead, didn't lag, just found a pace and held it. Carter tried to outpace me, but when he couldn't, he got sour. Not bad for a grease monkey, he huffed, breathless. I didn't bite. Conserving energy, I told him. By mile 4, he was struggling. When he stumbled, I caught his arm, kept him upright. He jerked away. "Don't need your help." I let it drop, face neutral. Mess hall eggs, coffee, chatter. I sat alone. Daniel Parker, former ranger, slid in across from me. "You're not what I expected," he said. I looked up. "And what did you expect?" "Someone who looks like they belong in intelligence," he said. "You look like you fix trucks." I sipped my coffee. "Appearances deceive. Word is you were Force Recon," he pressed. "That true." I just gave him a look, not confirming, not denying. That unsettled him. He changed the subject. See you at the range, Mercer. Hope you can shoot better than you can socialize. The range Fort Morrison's pride. All smoke, shouting, and confusion. M16A1S for everyone. The same rifles that jammed in Nam. Mine was a mess, sights crooked, barrel worn smooth, but my hands knew what to do. Marshall hovered, waiting for an excuse. Problem with your weapon, Mercer? Just getting acquainted, sir. When my turn came, I ran the course cover to cover, clean and quick, every shot on target, civilians untouched. At the end, a kid's silhouette popped out. I hit the arm, not the center. Disarmed, not dead. The range master looked at me like I'd pulled a rabbit from my helmet. 42 targets, 42 hits, no civilian casualties. Carter ran loud and wild. Missed 3, hit 2 civilians. When he saw my score, he muttered, beginner's luck. Wilson's eyes narrowed. She's not what she seems. Classroom intelligence theory, Soviet doctrine. Major Bennett, ex-CIA, prowled in front of the map, laying out the Soviet threat. Mercer, you seem unimpressed, he called me out. I gave him the breakdown. Warsaw Pact outnumbers NATO. Their tanks beat ours 3-1, but their command's rigid, and their human assets are their real strength. Mentioned the Angleton Affair 17 operations blown in East Germany. The room went quiet. That info's classified, Bennett said. See me after class. Later, he looked at my file, mostly redacted. Who are you really, he asked. Just a soldier, sir. Watch yourself, he warned. Carter and his crowd don't fight fair. Noted. The days bled together. PT, drills, lectures, study until midnight. Trainees dropped out, worn down by the grind. I just kept going. Never flashy, never failing, just steady. Except when it mattered, like the night land and AV exercise, storm pouring down, teams lost. I found a rally point 2 hours early. Carter's group rolled and soaked and lost. How the hell did you do that, he asked. Pine resin burns wet, I told him, tending my fire. He bristled, accusing me of making him look bad. Focus on your own performance, I said. That night, the mood in the barracks changed. Wilson's hostility now open. We've seen your type before, she sneered. Women who sleep their way to advancement. I just prepped for tomorrow, didn't rise to it. Week 3 SEER training. Fake POW camp in the mountains, guards barking, lights never off, sleep deprivation. Carter broke after 36 hours, spilled everything in a mock interrogation. I spent 20 hours in the box, came out shaky but clear-eyed. Parker, curious, asked, how are you still functioning? I told him, compartmentalize the pain. Find a memory, live in it. He looked at me like he was seeing a ghost. Final SEER, escape and evasion. Teams of form, Carter, Wilson, Parker. Tension high, everyone watching everyone. Carter wanted to go by the book, straight to the marked extraction to obvious. I said south, through rougher terrain, cover from infrared. Parker sided with me. Wilson watched. We went south. At night, teeth chattering, I found a rock shelter, set a watch. Parker watched me, finally asked, you've done this before, right? I told him to get some rest. Next day, Carter insisted we split up. He and Wilson looped west, me and Parker east. Parker warned, he's planning something. I shrugged. Surviving was bigger than Carter's ego. Ambush came on a narrow trail boulder, rolled down from above. I shoved Parker clear, tumbled down an embankment. Shirt tore, revealing the Black Panther tattoo on my back. Phantom echo. Parker stared, whispered, you're one of them. Carter and Wilson peered down, faces pale. Then Colonel Reynolds appeared, commanding officer himself. Saw my tattoo, saluted me. Captain Mercer, he said, voice softer. Shadow spoke highly of you. Respect in his eyes, not just command. As Carter and Wilson were sent off, Reynolds turned to Parker. What you've seen is classified. Parker nodded, understanding. In debrief, it came out me whole trainee thing was cover. Assessment and recruitment, Soviets planting sleeper agents. I was there to flush them out. Carter and Wilson's stunts were exactly what I needed. Pressure reveals character, I said. Parker, wide-eyed, saw me now for what I was never, just another face in the crowd. The rest moved fast counterintelligence, exercises, psychological pressure, watching Wilson, Harper, and Richard for cracks. Harper confessed she had the same tattoo, trained by Shadow. Showed me a photo of Shadow shaking hands with a KGB officer. Said he ordered the whole operation. Maybe a lie, maybe not. Suddenly, alarms, a breach. Richard's detained. Harper caught after a brutal fight. Wilson, cornered, took hostages in the comms room. I walked in unarmed to talk her down. Face to face with Wilson, I saw what the Cold War really did to people turned loyalty and belief into weapons. She ranted about betrayal, about how we were all pawns. She wanted out, safe passage. You know, I can't give you that, I said, voice steady. But I can offer you a chance to decide your fake cooperation, protection. She scoffed, so we both knew what that meant. I inched closer, voice low. You think the Soviets will protect you? They'll disavow you the second you're caught. She wavered. The tension thickened. A bead of sweat slid down her temple. Then, in a heartbeat, she made her move, but I was faster, tackling her, disarming her before she could squeeze the trigger. Hostages safe, Wilson cuffed. Game over. Back in the command center, Parker approached, quiet. Who are you really? He asked. I just smiled, tired but honest. Someone who learned that appearances are the best camouflage. Reynolds and General Mercer nodded. The operation wrapped up, 3 Soviet assets exposed, Phantom Echo's legacy intact, at least for now. As dusk fell, I watched from my window, a base quiet, but the war of secrets still raging under the surface. Somewhere, Shadow Blackwood moved through the world, playing his own game. Maybe Harper was telling the truth, maybe not. But that's the job, never really knowing who's playing for what side, only that you can't stop playing. So what do you think, folks? What would you have done in Emily's boots? Draw the line. Play the game. Trust nobody but yourself. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your take on loyalty, betrayal, and what justice really means in a world built on secrets. Because out here, the game never ends and everyone's got something to hide.